Hello, and I hope you're having a great day today. And today I'm talking to you guys about chapter 18, section 5 still. The challenge is the church authority. The church is under some pressure to try to kind of, lick its wounds from its losses during the Crusades and some of the other problems, the conflict between the Roman Catholics and Eastern Orthodox. And so the church in Europe the Catholic Church in Europe is under some pressure to try to clean up some things that are wrong, the heresies, as we talked about before, trying to find those heretics and eliminate them, or convert non-Christians over to Christianity. So all those things are going on, and some of those things, as you read through the chapter, you notice are not very nice, and some of those things are what they felt were necessary at the time. And again, we have to think about how we judge people based on our modern days views of how we should behave compared to what they thought back then. It is what it is, right? And so all we can do is study it and go from there. But we talked about the Reconquista, the effort to reclaim Spain back for Christians and kicking out the Muslims. The Romans had controlled Spain all the way since the Punic Wars. The Second Punic War was an effort, mostly in large part, of getting Spain back in Roman territory. The city of Barcelona is named after the Barcas, Hannibal Barca. Hannibal, the guy with the elephants, right? He was from the Barca clan. So Barcelona is named after him. It used to be a Spanish area, and then the Romans took it and had it for all those years. But then when Rome failed, it fell apart, and Spain became independent territory. It was the Visigoths and other groups in that area mostly eventually became its own thing. And then the Muslims came in from the south and then took over Spain and held it for a long time, a couple hundred years. It wasn't until the Battle of Granada that ended in 1492 that Spain was once again free from any other territory controlling it, free from the Muslim control, and Spain was able to rule itself. And this was when the two well-known people, Ferdinand and Isabella, who ended up celebrating the victory at the Battle of Granada in 1492, and Christopher Columbus had already been there, already been asking for a ship to sail west. He was Italian. He was from Genoa, Italy. His name was Cristobal Colon, and Christopher Columbus wanted to sail west to find an all-water route to the Indies. Being from Italy, he knew very well that Marco Polo had walked to China. That's too slow. Okay, everybody agrees 26 years there and back is way too long. And then you could sail south around Africa to get to the Indies, but Africa is massive. It's humongous. That's too long as well. It takes too long. You can't go by land so much because of the Muslim conflict. Remember, we're still right at the end of the Crusades here, so Muslims and Christians aren't exactly best friends here, so that's not going to work out either. So he wanted to go west to get to the Indies, and so to get to India, and so he talked to Ferdinand and Isabella from Spain because they had the money, and asked them if they would fund his trip. And a lot of people weren't too sure if it was going to be very successful or not, and it was kind of a gamble to spend that much money on an expedition that might fail. And so the problem was they didn't have the ships to spare. They were at war with the Muslims. So in 1492, after the Battle of Granada was a success for the Spaniards, they said, yeah, Chris, here you go. Here are 3 ships. Here's some money. Go out there and find the 3 G's for us: God, gold, and glory, right? And so that's exactly what he did. And the rest is history. And here we are today. And it's all good. No, we're not speaking Spanish. We're speaking English. And there's a reason why, even though he sailed for Spain, that we're not speaking Spanish here. That's a whole another story. How England ended up with Jamestown Colony, with Pocahontas and John Smith. You get the idea. It's all kind of coming together now. All these stories that you've already heard before are sort of kind of coming together, and we're getting things started in America. And that's where we are. But Ferdinand and Isabella, one from Castile, one from Aragon, 2 different parts of Spain coming together, uniting Spain together into one big happy country. And then after kicking out the Muslims, it was off to trying to get the Jews out of Spain as well, and make Spain one united country under Christianity. And so again, we look back on that and say, maybe that was not done the right way, or maybe you look back on it and say, well done. I mean, it depends on your perspective, right? History is always recorded by the people who win, and it's based on your interpretation, what you believe, and how you look into history that way. And so it's a matter of personal preference and perspective. But that's what happened, and so that's it. And so tomorrow we'll take a look at the Spanish Inquisition, how they did it, how they found the heretics, how they got rid of the non-Christians in Spain. We'll take a look at that a little bit more tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.